This next guy that's coming up to speak, I have a little history with this company. So I'm a little embarrassed to realize that years ago, back in the day, there was a guy I met named Gill, and they ran a print promotions company. For those that may not know me, I was a distributor for years, and we had about a $10 million distributorship. We did print and promo. And back in the day, we were struggling with training salespeople and personnel on print versus promo, and I met this guy named Gill. And Greg was really big into print. He was trying to get in promo, and we were kind of into both, but our promo folks weren't really grasping print. So Greg and I came up with this ingenious plan that we would fly to each other's offices. And so I flew to Florida to help train his team on promo, and Greg flew to Oklahoma City to help train my team on print. And it's just crazy to me that now, today, I am introducing on the stage his son to speak at skucon. So it's a little weird for me. But I want to say this, Mark and I talk about this a lot. You see this in the industry where folks, we're so inspired not just by the young energy and vitality of this group, but we're so inspired by folks that have made a decision rather than sunset their business or just let it languish, to reinvest. And this company has reinvested 2, 3, 4 times over the past 20 years that I have known them. And every time they've reinvented themselves, they've learned something new, and they're doing some of the most progressive technology that I know of distributors in the industry. Without further ado, though, I wanted to introduce Brian Gill, Chief Customer Experience Officer at Thumbprint. Come on up, Brian. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, Daryl, I know we just met, and I went back there, she gave me a hug and a high five, and I told her to raise the bar for me, and that was only a half-truth, Daryl, so thanks a lot. I was kind of kidding. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to walk around my phone because I added Memo on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm just waiting for him to accept my friend invite. So I hope you guys don't mind. I'm not trying to be insulting of you. I really do want this to be worth your time. So let's just kick this thing off, right? Big brand theory. And listen, guys, you're not going to have to look at the screens very much. I started with 6 slides. This morning at 4 in the morning, I sent Bobby an email and said, remove the first one. So I think we're down to 5 if I'm counting right. So my goal here is really just to talk to you guys a little bit. I don't like talking from bullet points and slides. I just really want to speak from passion, tell you guys some stories about work for us, and hopefully there's something you can take back with you. Elastic capabilities. Right? So the idea of elastic capabilities, stretching yourself and your business beyond your capabilities. Really, beyond the services and the products you've been offering for so long that have made you successful, that sometimes make you comfortable. Real quick, there's something that Vicki said when she was talking. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to tell a quick personal story that I think relates to elastic capabilities. My son was 2 years old. It was the first time he had given my wife and I any attitude. And so I'm picking him up, and I'm doing this new thing where I have to discipline him, which I'm not very good at, and I'm taking him to the hall where he puts his hands on the wall for 2 minutes. So he's crying, he's sobbing, and as I'm taking him to the wall, he literally starts screaming towards the kitchen, Alexa, please set the timer for 2 minutes. Now, I was like, you win, dude, you win. There was no timeout. We went back to the couch and probably watched Puppy Dog Pals or whatever it is he was into at that time. But, right, so my son was 2. He couldn't count, right? That was beyond his capabilities. But he used what he knew, a tool he knew, to help him, right? So elastic capabilities, one of the things we realized as a company is our clients are relying on us to be elastic, right? They need us to, I hate to say think outside the box, right? But they need us to recognize the possibilities that are available to help them solve problems in their business. And I think where we make mistakes sometimes is we try to do all these things. Okay, I need to be elastic. What does that mean? I need to be an augmented reality expert. I need to be a technology expert. How many of you in this room, suppliers and distributors, how many of you in this room feel the pressure from your clients to be an ad agency? Show of hands. A lot of you, right? I know we were feeling that. I am in no means, I'm not in a position to build an ad agency. I wouldn't know how to hire a creative director. I wouldn't know how to hire creatives. But I do know that I have to find the right people. I have to know that that is a capability for me to go out and find these people that can help me grow my business. Which brings us to distributive partnerships. So we think of distributed workforces. Yeah, this is a pretty badass partnership too. But people coming together, right? And finding people that have their own lane, their own expertise, and bringing them into your world and solving problems for your clients. Hang on a second, memo. No, that's not him. No, okay. So distributed partnerships. Let me ask another question, because this is something that we struggled with for a long time as a company. I don't know how many of you out there, like my friends ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, you want to go to dinner? I'll explain it to you, because I cannot explain it to you in the 2 minutes that I have you here. How many of you have pounded your head against the wall saying, how am I going to get in front of this client and explain to them what it is that I do? Show of hands. How many of you guys struggle with that? I just need to get in front of this person, and I need to explain to them what I do. All right, that was our philosophy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We would use products to get in front of them. You know, back in the day, I used to use, when Origadio first came out, I met Jason at ASI in Orlando. He was packing up like 5 hours before you're allowed to pack up. And I'm like, listen, dude. He's like, nope, too many old people in shopping carts, just stealing samples. I hate Orlando. I'm never going to sell on the East Coast. If you know Jason, you know there were a lot more four-letter words and a drug reference in there somewhere. So anyways, I was like, listen, dude, just show me what this product does. Show me how to use it. He's like, all right, well, let me show you. So Origadio became our way in to get in front of people, right? It was something different, something they'd never seen before. Kind of a play again, elastic capability, someone that was thinking outside of what most of us thought was capable in the promo world. So moving along now, we can't do that. Everyone knows Origadio. If I take a thumper into a client, they're like, great, thanks. I'll put it up here with my other 7 thumpers, or I'll give it to my kid. So what are we going to do now that matters to clients? Well, we got to stop thinking about ourselves. Me thinking, how am I going to explain who I am and what I can do for this person means nothing to them. So what I challenge all of you to do is to go through the transformation that we went through, which was, where is my client going, and who do they need me to be to get them there? So where's my client going, and who do they need me to get them there? Who do they need me to be? And we can't be all things to everybody, which brings us to these partnerships. We can find the best people. It's not outsourcing, it's talent sourcing. We joke around all the time with clients. I'm like, look, I can build you the NASCAR and drive it for you, but wouldn't you rather me, if I know Dale Earnhardt, wouldn't you rather me put Dale Earnhardt in the car and drive it for you? So find the best people, find the talented people in their space, bring them into your world, bring them to your clients, and provide the problem solving that they're looking for from you. With this, you got to look the part, right? So transformation. All of you guys, right? Badass ladies of promo, like let's transform. Let's be badasses for our clients. Transformation. You got to look the part, right? So a lot of us in here sell promotional products, and there are challenges that our clients are going through every day. And guess what? They're not thinking of you. They don't think you're capable of solving them. They might not even think you're capable of finding the person that can solve them, because they don't even think you're taking the time to research their problems. So, you know, I started thinking about this. Sometimes I'm thinking about, I don't know how many of you are this way, but I'm heavily invested in my friendships, my relationships. I know my friends who are struggling with things about being a parent or their relationships, and I'm chatting with them about their finances and all these different things, right? I get on a very personal level. I know what keeps them up at night, and then I go to my job and I sell product. It's the same concept. Like, stop thinking about what keeps you up at night and start thinking about what keeps your client up at night. If you do, they're going to call you and ask you some really crazy questions that you're going to be excited to go find the answers for. Part of this transformation was rebranding ourselves, right? I wanted to sell AR. A few years ago, about 5 years ago, I sold an AR project to a hospital. It was for when kids go into the ER room, whether they were sick or their parent was sick, it doesn't matter, the kid's scared. How do we relieve them of that anxiety? How do we take their mind off the place that they're at? At that time, it was app-based. I didn't know anything about AR, but I knew it was cool, and I didn't want to use it as a gimmick. I wanted to solve a problem. I wanted it to be purposeful. So we sold the project. I think it was a success, but guess what? Just like everything else, everything changes. I can't go back to that. So now we're looking at AR has changed. Technology is changing so fast, and guess what? I'm not the person to understand it or to keep up with it. So we found an agency. Luckily, I connected with them on LinkedIn. I go, wow, damn, these guys are really talented. They're probably overseas. They're probably in London. Looked them up. They were like 3 miles down the road. So we had lunch, and nothing really happened quickly. We had some great ideas, but the thing I loved was he's like, listen, Brian, we're going to change the world. And I was like, you do know I like sell promo and print apparel. He's like, we're going to change the world. So he changed my mindset, right? This transformation happened that I went back and shared with our team. Guys, we got to start thinking bigger. The products will come. The products will follow. But let's just do something purposeful, meaningful. Let's do something we're all excited about. So we started the rebrand of ourselves. So at the end of the day, if I'm going to go off and promise someone that I can help tell their story, that I can drive revenue, that I create experiences, right? Bespoke experiences. This is what everybody wants. Everyone says they're an experience company, but why? Because you're nice? Because you're friendly? It's got to go beyond that. You have to understand that the experience that your client's looking to convey, and they're different for each one. The experience that a hospital is looking to give a patient is very different than the experience that a professor is looking to give a student, right? So we started going down this road, and we transformed our company. We rebranded about 45 days ago, and it's been this incredible experience. And it's more than just a logo. I'll give you an example. So going back to this hospital, there's another hospital, and they went to our website. I've been trying to sell AR again since this project unsuccessfully. We built this website, brought in some partners, learned a lot more about it. Next thing you know, I get this LinkedIn post like, holy shit, Brian, your website is awesome. Look this person up. Oh, they're in patient experience. I had been trying to get into this company for 4 years, but I was sending swag bags, private labeled apparel from T-Shirt Tycoon. Shout out T-Shirt Tycoon. You guys are awesome. It's not your fault. It's my fault. I was leading with things that didn't mean anything to them. They didn't have a problem with that. Their problem was this experience that they had at their hospital. So I sat down with this agency. We started talking to, hey, we need to start having conversations with people at a high level. What keeps them up at night? So we met with the CEO of a hospital. I said, what's your problem? What keeps you up at night? He said, I'm a tour guide. I don't follow. He said, well, our policy is anyone that's lost in a hospital, and if you've ever been to a hospital, they're all under construction. Everybody's lost, including the employees. Someone walks in, you're rushing to get to your sick relative. You don't know where you're going. And the next thing you know, you're stopping a nurse. You're stopping a doctor. You might even stop the CEO. They then have to stop what they're doing and get you to wherever it is you need to go because they're looking to deliver a great patient experience. Well, what happens then when that CEO is late to a meeting? That nurse isn't in the room that she's supposed to be. So we started thinking about what do you guys need? And we decided they needed an indoor wayfinding app. Well, this didn't really exist. You guys Google this, it's not really out there. So I'm thinking about, we had them excited, and they went to our website, and it was the first time in a long time that I was excited about something bigger than drawstring bags and coffee mugs and swag, all these things that used to get me excited. I've been doing this 20 years. It's like, okay, that's cool. Yep, that's awesome. I love it. I'm here at PPI every year, but I want to make a difference. That stuff is great. It's all complimentary, but how do we fix their bigger issues? So next you know, we have this meeting. We're talking to them, and the good thing is we finally looked the part. They'll actually have a meeting with us. So now we're meeting on technology. So now we're meeting up here. Oh, no, that wasn't the name either. So now we're meeting up here, and I'm going to get the opportunities down here. Uniforms, apparel, promotional products, event-related products. My goal is to be on the side that helps them change their business and push their business forward, right? So, and the cool thing about this is, guys, look, we're a $15 million distributor. I'm telling you guys, I know people hide from that sometimes, like, who cares? Like, we're $15 million. I'm not for imprint. The cool thing, revenue does not dictate how innovative or creative you can be for your clients. It has no bearing. To be honest with you, a lot of my clients, these massive companies, they rely on people like us who don't have all the red tape, that aren't the $1 billion Amazons of the world. They need the speedboats, the people who are nimble, right? That's why they come to us. So don't think that you can't do these things for your clients because, we just don't have the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have the people. Go find them. They're out there. This agency that we partnered with, I actually brought him with me. His name's Hassan. I encourage you all to meet him either at a break or tonight. The funny thing is you start thinking you need them, and he's here looking at our industry. He's never even thought about what we do, guys. He's building AR and disruptive experiences in a digital world, and now he's looking at us going, wow, you guys are kind of cool too, right? It makes us feel good about what we're doing. So I'm going to give you guys another example if you guys don't mind. You know, at the end of the day, like, we all buy the same stuff from the same people, right? And we're all afraid of this being commoditized. Everyone gets EQP. It's just the truth. And I get it. I met with a client literally 6 months ago, this big proposal. She's like, yeah, Brian, everything looks good, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, and we're going to get EQP, right? And I was like, I didn't even catch it at first. I was like, wait, what? She goes, well, you get EQP, right? I was like, why am I sitting here with a client and they're asking me if I get EQP? I was like, all right, EQP means nothing. I was like, yeah, you get EQP minus 10. No one else gets that. So, you know, a couple weeks ago, we went to go meet with a timeshare company. And timeshare company's biggest challenge is, one of their largest challenges, they don't know what their sales reps are presenting. Imagine if you didn't know what the story your reps were telling, right? Kind of scary. So we get called to this meeting. We'd gone through the rebrand. I was literally just trying to get all their event stuff. They have they're part of a large MLS franchise. They're partnered with them. I said, look, I see you guys out there. I have season tickets. I love your brand. You know, I'd love to like do all your tents, your gifts, and all that stuff. And I never got a response. And then I started really thinking about, okay, what are their challenges? Did some research on their industry. And I realized that, man, as a sales leader, I want to know what my sales reps, what story they're telling. I want to know why one person's successful versus one person might be struggling. So we sat down in a meeting. We said, you know what? I don't see a software out there for this. Let's just build it. So we kind of pitched this little idea to this person that oversees this timeshare company. Say, hey, listen, we just got this idea. I think it relates to you. I don't really know, but just think it over. So a couple weeks later, he gives us a call and says, listen, I want to have you over. Just so you know, this is a pretty expensive meeting because we actually look at the salary of all of our executives that are going to be in this meeting, and we have the cost of their time plus opportunity costs. So you're looking like a $70,000 meeting. I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, so just make it worth it. So I'm going, okay, great. Let's make this worth it. So we walk into the meeting. I bring my team in. I bring in our creative partner. We sit down. And again, just a couple months earlier, I'm trying to sell their event-related swag, right? And this is how he introduces us. Let me make sure I don't screw this up. Yeah. In an industry of taxis, we need you to be the Uber. No one's ever said that to me in any pitch, any meeting, ever. I looked over at my creative partner. I was like, we're the Uber, right? He's like, yeah, we're the Uber. I said, we got you. But that was cool, man. That was exciting. Like, you feel like, wow, we're building something that these people need, right? And so we start this conversation. We're moving forward. And they're excited about the software. And they're like, you guys have no idea. This is going to change our industry. And so 2 weeks later, we get a call. I'm like, hey, Brian, you know, the soccer season's starting up. We need a really cool experience in the fan zone outside the stadium. Here I was. I couldn't get them to talk to me about this. And I've been selling promotional products for 20, 15, I don't even know the year, a long time, long enough. They didn't care. They didn't have a promotional products problem. They had an experience problem. They had a problem with nobody listening or taking the time to figure out what their real challenges were and giving a damn. And it wasn't about me knowing the answers. It's about us going back, let's figure this out. Let's do it. This is fun. We're in the bunker together. Let's figure out how to do this. So, and then we're getting a call like, hey, can you guys build the experiential campaign within the stadium? All the lighting, can you create an experience? And we're thinking AR. We heard you guys do AR. So next you know, 4 days ago, we pitched them on this really cool AR experience in the stadium, outside the stadium, and then for all their field marketing reps, and they love it. So what I'm telling you isn't stop selling what you're selling. Think bigger. All that stuff's still going to be there. It's just going to complement everything else you're doing for the company that they really need you. And that's pretty cool. One other thing, the other thing to think about, guys, and we talk about technology, I remember 5 years ago, I get pulled into an RFP, promotional product RFP. Am I still? Yeah, same slide. I told you there aren't many slides. So we get pulled in this promotional products RFP, and I'm sure you guys have all been in there. Daryl was talking about it a few minutes ago. And we had changed, about 5 years ago, we realized like we have to think bigger than product, right? We just got to be about more than product. And I get a call, I'm in Chicago, I'm on vacation. My buddy calls me, he's in purchasing, he's like, hey, Brian, why aren't you on this RFP? I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. He's like, there's an RFP, it started 2 weeks ago, you're late to the game, I can get you on the list. I can get you one meeting, but I can't promise you anything else. I was like, all right. So he's like, well, it's in 2 days. I was like, thanks. End vacation, fly home, meet with my COO, and decide, okay, what's going to make us different? And I started thinking about, I was like, you know, why were we not invited in the RFP in the first place? And I hope you guys know, if you're dealing with big companies, you're not the only person dealing with them. Everyone's in there. It makes it really hard to stand out. So we go to this healthcare system. They have 50-plus hospitals, 1,000-plus doctors' practices. And we've done a lot of research in a short 48 hours of really what we thought their problems were. And we're sitting in the lobby, a waiting room. Conference door opens. They come out, and they're like, oh, sorry, we were looking for someone else. I'm like, oh, thumbprint. Like, oh, you're thumbprint? I'm like, yeah. They go, are you here for the RFP? I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, where's all your catalogs and your product? I was like, you guys don't need catalogs and product. That's not your problem. So they joked around. They called us 2 dudes in a MacBook. And so we walked in. We set up this MacBook, and we told them, you guys don't have a product problem. Like, you have a control problem. You can't control your brand. You can't control cost. You can't control the process. They proceeded to tell us, you know, hey, we've got nurses ordering stuff with logos saved on their desktop. I said, exactly. You want me to show you a better stress ball where I can save you 10%? Or do you want me to show you how to control this whole thing, the messaging that's going out? That was 5 years ago. We landed the contract. Again, it doesn't mean you're the only person in there. These are big companies, right? But it gave us an opportunity now to play with them and show our worth. 3 years later, like everything in technology is changing. Guess what? Everyone has a storefront. If you have a storefront, do not go tell your client you're a technology company. You're not. Everyone has them or has access to them. You got to go beyond that. Elastic. What's next? What do clients care about? Data, reporting, dashboards, integrations. So 3 years from launching this store, now we're tying into their purchasing software. We're controlling user access based on their Active Directory. Now it's not the approval rules I write. What approval rules do you have internally? You know, an employee quits tomorrow, fine, they don't have access to the site, done, gone. But in 2 years from that, now we're talking AR and wayfinding apps, right? So in 5 years, a lot has changed. And you all don't have to be the experts on it. You just have to dedicate yourself to finding good people that can help educate you and push your business forward. There's other examples I could give you. None of them are super sexy. It's just, guys, it's just connecting the dots for your clients. It's literally stop being so narcissistic. Stop thinking about yourself. Stop thinking about explaining what you do, because they really just don't care. So at the end of the day, I'm encouraging all of you, and I'm challenging you, figure out how can you transform. Not disrupt, just transform. It's a mindset. Find good people and make them available to your clients and show them what's possible. Because if not, it's not pretty, right? You got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to embrace technology and embrace the unknown. Like, I feel so uncomfortable in some of these meetings, and I freaking love it. I could go in and talk about things I'm comfortable about all day long. It just doesn't matter to me. So if you're doing something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, you're probably on the right path, and your client's going to thank you for it. And with that, bazinga.
Don't forget to go to slido.com /skucon 2020. Brian, I'm very familiar with you guys' business, and you guys have been saying yes to a lot of interesting things, very interesting things. How do you know when to say no? How do you know to say no to some of these? Because some of you guys are getting really brought into these unique experiences. We're talking about how to price them. There's pricing challenges. There's creative challenges. How do you know what to say no to?
You're really asking the wrong person.
I'll ask Greg. Greg will know the answer to this.
No, it's a good question. Look, I mean, right now, I think the key is, man, it's, you know, as long as there's really not much we can't do anymore, guys, in this world.
Yeah.
As long as you're not asking me to bake you cupcakes, like, I can probably say yes. Most of the stuff we're offering is very complimentary. It's rooted in technology. It's rooted in marketing and branding. But you do have to know when to walk away. Have we walked away from A lot of times we walked away from clients. This just isn't a good fit anymore.
Right.
Right? If we can't provide the automation, if they don't embrace automation, it's just not worth it for me. Right?
Right.
So it's a challenging one. I'd like to say right now we've got really good people surrounding us where we don't have to say it too often. But maybe in a year I'll tell you a really good scenario where we did.
Awesome.
So thank you guys.
Brian Gill. Thanks, brother.
Thank you,
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Appreciate it.